Hello, everybody, and welcome to Church at Home with Rachael for Tuesday, the 20th of May. I can't believe how quickly this month is going. It seems they all are. Today, I'd like to share with you a brief passage from Celtic Daily Prayer, Book 2, farther up and further in. The author of this is Jean Jugan. I'm probably pronouncing her name wrong, but Jugan. And she says this: "Go and find Jesus when your patience and strength give out and you feel alone and helpless. He is waiting for you. Say to him, 'Jesus, you know exactly what is going on. You are all I have and you know all. Come to my help.' And then go and don't worry about how you are going to manage. That you have told God about it is enough. He has a good memory." I appreciate this because as some of you may know, I've been away for a week. We went to Edmonton to the consecration of 3 new bishops for the Arctic, which was very exciting and beautiful. Congratulations to Alex and Anne, Martha, and Jared, who will be gifts to the church and gifts to the Diocese of the Arctic, covering pretty much half of the land mass of Canada. But then I also went on to London, to Huron University College, where I received the honorary Doctor of Divinity, honoris causa. And I'm now doing that whole struggle of, do you use the doctor? And I'm thinking I won't, just for, I have it, but I'm not going to call myself a doctor. Rob will be upset when he hears that, but oh well. But one of the things I've been thinking a lot about is a lot of time in the car, a lot of time in the plane, is patience and strength and feeling alone and helpless. I'm becoming quite aware, especially when we consecrated the 3 bishops, that we come together. There were like 11 bishops there to lay hands upon and to pray over these 3 people who have offered themselves to God in the role of bishop and have no idea yet what that will look like in their diocese. God bless them. And, we do this whole thing where we gather as a community and we celebrate together. We do this big thing and we're all there for one another. And the reality is then we all go back off to our own little places. And in the role of bishop, you're very much usually the only one of. So you have lots of people around you, but you're the only person who is a bishop. In this case, there are 4 bishops total in the Arctic, but they all live so they have each other to lean on, but they live in such remote places that they really are an entity unto themselves where they are. So you learn really quickly that you do feel alone. And sometimes you do lose patience. And you kind of wonder, But there's something about remembering that we can just go to Jesus and say, here it is. Like, I feel alone. I feel overwhelmed. I feel unprepared. It's like having that best friend you can talk to. When we were in Ontario visiting for the graduate convocation, and then also visiting some family, we went over to my sister's house for dinner, and her daughter had a friend over and for dinner, and they went and they sat in the kitchen because the rest of us were filling up the dining room table in the dining room, and the 2 of them having a great time. They're best friends. They love each other. They're like 14, 15 years old, the way that 14, 15-year-old girls just, they can look at each other and start to giggle. You have no idea why. They may not either know why, but they just have that kind of relationship. And realizing that when you're at that age, that's the age you start to build those relationships, where you realize that you can go to someone and share with them your thoughts, your concerns, your dreams, your worries, not so much because you're expecting them to fix those things or even to give you advice, but simply because a load shared is, as they say, a load halved. If you carry something heavy and ask another to carry it with you, it's half the weight. And sometimes just knowing that there's another carrying that load with you, not necessarily for you, but with you, makes all the difference in the world. And when Jean says, go and find Jesus when your patience and strength give out and you feel alone and helpless, he is waiting for you. That's the truth, my friends. Jesus is waiting for us. Jesus is not a deity who is going to shove himself down our throats. You are never in the true sense of Christianity. I know there's a lot of other kinds of Christianity seem to be floating around out there, but the true sense of Christianity, you are never going to see that moment when Jesus comes to you and says, you must accept me. This is it. This is a do or die. It's now or never. You must accept me. That's not how Jesus works. Jesus said to his disciples, the followers, the people who listened to him, people who joined with him, even if they didn't believe right away, even if they just like, he's interesting, he's kind of charismatic, we're kind of interested in what he has to say. He didn't say to them, you must do this or else. He just said, if you want to live the way that I'm calling you to live, you have to let things go. To change the way you are. You have to change the way you live. He didn't say they had to. He said if you choose to. And that's a big thing. You see, Christianity is a choice. It's not a forced thing. It's not an inherited thing. Although for many people it looks like it. You know, I grew up Christian because my parents were Christian and theirs were, so that means I am. Christians have the choice to say, not going to happen. That's okay. When we believe in Jesus, when we choose to follow Jesus' word and follow his path, that's when we truly acknowledge that he's always been there. He's just, unlike other forces in our lives, not being a force. Jesus is simply saying to us, here I am. When you're ready, follow me. If you're not, okay. The good news is, though, that if we're not ready, Jesus is still right there. And when we are ready, we can turn to him and say, I've had a day, or a week, or a month, or a year, a whole season of like pulling my hair out. And Jesus will say to us, I know. It's okay. I'm right here. And you know what? It's like my niece and her best friend. Sometimes you don't need the problem to be solved for you. Sometimes you just need someone to say, yep, I see you've got a problem. Can I help? Can I listen? Can I help you carry it? We don't always want to be rescued, and I would argue that probably most people don't want to be rescued. But we do need to be strengthened, and we do need to be honored, and we need to be treated with integrity. And let me tell you, from 53 years of experience, Jesus has always honored me. He has always listened to me, and he has always treated me with integrity. He has always upheld my dignity. And there really isn't much more I can ask of a best friend. Just some words to think about. Some things to think about. Have a great day. God bless. And I'll see you again tomorrow for Church at Home with Rachael. God bless.